Right now, right now. 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 Oh, I got a real good feeling.
We try to bring you high-quality educational, informational content every single day. Why do you think the price is having such an anemic time? The news story of the hour. Jump onto the chart. Is this the beginning of a massive financial unraveling? We've got to add a little addendum to the show map today. So we start here on the daily. Now, we've been looking at the RSI on Bitcoin's daily chart for the last several days. Well, it's been increasing over the last 50 years since the government has been. Hey guys, what's going on? Jebb here, and welcome back to Coffee and Crypto Live. Do apologize for being a little bit late today, guys. As I told you in the community post a little while ago, and also just in chat, myself and my wife and our children are extremely sick. Goodness gracious, we just keep getting sick. I don't know what's going on. My daughter is turning 6 weeks old tomorrow, and she is very sick right now. So we have a doctor's appointment here in exactly 59 minutes. So we're going to go for until 10:45 as we normally do, and then we're going to kind of cut and run and try and get her to the doctors because she's way too young to be having a really bad cold and all of that. So definitely be praying for us today, and I am looking forward to us being able to go over Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency markets. And I'm looking forward to at least being able to do some kind of content today, even if we are having a little bit of trouble. Man, everything is just messing with me right now. It looks like we're lagging too. Interesting. Let's see. Give me 1 second. I'm going to do something here and see if that fixes it. We're having some technical difficulties, it seems. Seems like everything's out to get us today, isn't it? I'm bullish on Charity's doctor visit. She's going to be okay. We can't see. Let's see if this, if that corrects things. If not, we'll try and fix it another way. I don't know if you guys can hear me or not. Hello? Hello? Pretty harsh lag. Interesting. It's very strange. Not saving enough video. I made it so now the show can go on. There you go, Philly Skills. Let's see. Apologies for this, guys. I think it's pretty obvious that there's a lot just working against us right now, but that's okay. Let's see. Looks like it just stopped lagging on my end. Tell me if it stopped lagging on your end. Not sure. Better. Much better. Aha! I don't know what happened. God's good. Not frozen? Looks like people are saying this better. All right, cool. Not sure what happened there. Really apologize for that. Let's start over. Let's do it. Hey guys, what's going on? Jebb here, and welcome back to Coffee and Crypto Live. This is your weekdaily morning show where we bring you the latest in everything Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. Thank you so very much for tuning in. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency price action charts because Bitcoin has been in this very aggressive sideways movement for quite some time now, and we are looking to try and find when the next major movement is going to occur. Are we going to see a major drop relatively soon? Are we going to see Bitcoin manage to break bullish out of that? Out of the range that it's been in? These are some of the questions that we're going to be going over today. Let's go ahead and look at chat. We've got Mike Lowry coming in first. Said, good morning, Crypto with Brian said first. Bob said not first. Crypto with Brian said, how you doing? I am blessed. It is well with my soul, but I am here to tell you that I am definitely sick. So if you hear it in my voice, I do apologize. Hopefully it doesn't come into, hopefully it doesn't interrupt too much what we're doing here. Being BTC Crypto Alert said morning all. Anthony Roldan said fourth. Lol. Mike Lowry said fourth. Everybody was competing for first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. Anthony Roldan said, good morning, Jebb and family. Wisely T said, hope you're okay, Jebb. Happy Monday. Crypto and Cowboy said, good morning, Jebbo Knights. Hello. Good morning, Shadrach Frost said to Jebb and chat. Let's see. Is it true Hong Kong and mainland China institutions are opening up for crypto starting June? Hong Kong and mainland China have been very much indecisive about how they are going to treat the Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency market. So you really kind of have to wait and see with them. Neither one of them have been very forthright in how they're going to handle all of that, other than China, who has basically flat out banned it more times than we can count. Good morning. Where are the aviators? They are in a glasses case in the glove box of my car. That's where they are. But if you'd like me to bring them on stream one day, I can. I have the same aviators I've had for like 5 years. I love those glasses so much. Rave Song Record said, sorry you're not feeling well. Or TA. Not sure which one. But we are going to do some TA. We've got to look at CoinMarketCap to start with. So let's go ahead and jump on over to CoinMarketCap. As you can see, CoinMarketCap reset on me, so let's go ahead and fix this. We're just going to go ahead and set our 90-day and year-to-date here. All right. You can see, excuse me, we need to move those two. Let's move those right there. You can see over the last 90 days, Bitcoin is only up 9%. And a lot of that comes down to the fact that Bitcoin has been trading sideways aggressively. You might think, well, Jebb, how can Bitcoin aggressively trade sideways? Well, Bitcoin has been in this aggressive sideways movement for the better part of the last 2 months. In fact, over 2 months, nearly 2.5 months now. Today's May 22nd, and Bitcoin has been trading sideways up here ever since March 18th. That is now over 2 months that Bitcoin has been just consolidating all of the gains that it made in the first quarter of 2023, excuse me. I keep forgetting the year. Golly, they just start coming and they don't stop coming. We had some major gains, and now Bitcoin is just in this long-term consolidation. And the question on everybody's mind is when and where and how and why and what will that market break out into, and how will it do it? We're going to talk a little bit about that today. We're going to be kind of brief because I've discussed a lot of that before. I want to talk to chat quite a lot, but we're going to start over on CoinMarketCap. All right, as you can see, Bitcoin's currently trading at $26,900. It's down about 0.2% over the last 24 hours. If you look at the last 7-day price graphs, you can see right over here the last couple of days on Bitcoin's price graphs here almost look like Bitcoin turned into a stable coin. Bitcoin just had volatility and then boom, straight sideways action. And that's what we're seeing on the chart as well. If you go down to the 1 hour chart, Bitcoin is in essence just moving sideways very, very aggressively here and not able to really break out and go into any kind of major trend whatsoever. It's been doing that for over 10 days now, going back to May 11th when we first dropped down here, especially right after the time that we saw Jerome Powell and his FOMC release the fact that we were going to see a 25 basis point rate hike that has now come into effect. FOMC, the effective federal funds rate right now is sitting at 5.15%, and that is something that will, at this point, probably continue to rise into the next into the next meeting coming June 14th. So that is where we are watching this market very closely. We're watching it like a hawk because this market is waiting for that news. I want to be very clear here. Bitcoin is waiting for June 13th and June 14th. All eyes are on those two releases. The BLS.gov/CPI data release, where we're going to see whether or not CPI drops more than 0.1%. And if not, Bitcoin dropping only 0.1% would likely lead to the effective federal funds rate hiking by 25 basis points the very next day on June 14th. In fact, if you go to the CME Group Fed Watch tool, then you're going to find that they are giving a pretty high likelihood at this point that we are in fact going to see a rate hike. In fact, a 27.9% likelihood that we could see a rate hike, 72.1% likelihood we see a pause, 27.9% likelihood that we see a hike. You can even see that up here in the probabilities. 0% likelihood of an ease, 72.1% likelihood of no change. That would be a pause, and then a 27.9% likelihood of a hike. They are calling for a pause, a no change. That being said, this likelihood of there being a hike has been becoming increasingly more likely to them over the last little while. If you remember, we've looked at this chart several times, and right after the FOMC meeting came out on May 3rd, we saw the effective federal funds rate prediction here sitting at roughly 95% likelihood that we were going to see a pause and almost no likelihood that we were going to see a hike. Then a week later, on May 10th, we saw CPI data came out. Many people started believing that we were going to see a Fed rate hike. That is definitely in the cards right now because the Fed's job with hiking rates is to try and get inflation under control. And if they cannot get inflation under control by keeping it at 5.15%, then they're going to hike it again because the Fed would probably rather go ahead and hike to wherever they're going to hike and then pause rather than having 1 month of pause, 1 month of hike, 1 month of pause, 1 month of hike. They'd rather just get it to where they're going to go and then pause it. If you look at the history of the Fed rate hikes, that's typically how they do it. If they're hiking rates aggressively, which by the way, this is the most aggressive they've hiked rates in over 40 years, Typically, they're going to just get all the rate hiking done before they take a pause, and when they take the pause, they mean it. And that is a good thing because that helps the economy to have a little bit more security rather than, oh, 1 month we're on pause, 1 month we're on hiking. It helps. So it's very possible that they could hike rates again preemptively just to make sure that the United States dollar, that the United States dollar and the United States economy's inflation gets under control. Now, how will this impact Bitcoin? Well, as we've said, guys, if Bitcoin does have a pause here in June, that's likely going to send a major rally on Bitcoin. If you remember, we've looked at this chart recently right here that shows kind of the uptrending trading channel that Bitcoin finds itself in. Bitcoin right now is kind of in this downtrending trajectory towards the bottom of that trading channel, not only because it's losing price, but also because it's moving to the right in time. Of course, it's always moving to the right in time, but right now, it moving to the right in time means that it's catching up, or excuse me, I suppose I should say this uptrend is catching up with Bitcoin. Bitcoin moving right, uptrend's uptrending, then we're going to see those two trend lines intersect. We're going to see the trend of the market and the trend of the trend line intersect, and eventually Bitcoin may come back down here, either through some explosive drop if we see like no CPI data, no bullishness coming out of the CPI data, or we're going to see Bitcoin having to go through or we're going to see Bitcoin go through a small corrective rally if we do see a larger drop, and then it will probably have to drop anyway because it's not going to be enough. We're going to need to see a rate pause to get Bitcoin moving back to the upside up towards $32,000. At this point, I think it's going to take well into the rest of this year, at least into the rest of quarter 3, which has not even begun yet, to get back up to 32,935. But that is not a bad thing. That's actually a very healthy thing. And I've talked about this quite a bit. If we're looking at Bitcoin right now, Bitcoin has rallied very aggressively this year, but if Bitcoin lowers its angle of attack, if it rallies a little bit slower, then that's actually going to be good for it because it allows it to lock in gains a lot easier. All right, now let's kind of get down onto the hourly chart, do some nitty-gritty technical analysis, look at some technical indicators. First thing I'm going to want to show you is Lux Algo, and I'm going to show you right now why Lux Algo is going to be it's going to be very helpful, but right now, it's kind of difficult to use. The reason being is that Bitcoin's trading sideways aggressively. This is aggressive sideways action, as we say. And this is an area where you have to be aggressively patient. Bitcoin is ranging in a $1,000 range. It's trading at $27,000. That's only about a 3% range. Looking out to the 4-hourly chart, you can see that there's just not a lot of confidence in any trend right now other than the downtrend that was already called and confirmed back here on May the 1st. Remember, we had a on the 4-hourly chart, we had a confirmed sell signal come into play April 30th, or a sell signal come into play April 30th. It was confirmed just a few short hours later in the wee hours of the morning of Monday, May the 1st. We have seen Bitcoin dropping grand total 9.74% since then. We're down 6.5% since then. So we do have a confirmed trend, but this sideways trading is not getting us out of the downtrend. That means that this sideways trading is acting predominantly as basically a giant bear flag because we've not been able to move to the upside in the course of almost 2 weeks. Bitcoin has not been able to move to the upside, break above this flat level of resistance, that being the trend catcher, and so Bitcoin has been very much struggling. On the daily chart, you can see the exact same thing. Bitcoin's been under a sell signal right here. It was confirmed the same day. That was April 19th. We've been under that for over a month now. Bitcoin has moved to the downside, $3,600. It's down 12%. And in fact, it's already dropped all the way down into its take profit zone. And I believe at this point that it will drop all the way down into its take profit zone. Bitcoin's doing a lot of sideways trading right now. It doesn't have a lot of very confident trends. But one thing I will show you is that lately when Bitcoin trades sideways, Bitcoin has been trading sideways as continuation. That's typically how that works in the first place. Typically when a market trades sideways, it is trading sideways to continue the pattern that the market entered that trend with. Just going to check chat really quickly and make sure that there's nothing going on with the internet. I think we're good. All right, cool. So what I'm saying here is that when Bitcoin trades sideways, the way that it has been doing over the last several days, over the last week and a half or 2 weeks, generally speaking, that is going to be a significant indication that the market is going to continue trading sideways. So I really appreciate all of you guys tuning in, but I also really appreciate the consideration that you guys can have to look out for Bitcoin because you need to be paying very close attention to Bitcoin right now because it could break at any moment. And when it does break, I do believe that will be a break to the downside. All right. Let's look at a couple of other technical indicators. There's a few things going on right now. First and foremost, looking at our moving averages on the daily chart, you can see there is a 50 simple moving average that is coming down as resistance right now. That moving average is very much an important moving average because it is the moving average that a lot of times denotes that you are in this correction in a bull market. So the theory here is that Bitcoin has actually begun the very early stages of a bull market over the last 6 months. And in doing so, obviously Bitcoin has to go through the corrective movements that happen in a bear market. One of the corrective movements that happens in a bear market is you typically break below the 50 and sometimes even below the 100 to come back and backtest the 200 daily simple moving average. We've currently broken below the 50. That's where all of this sideways trading took place. We are also currently holding above the 100. At this point, because we're hitting our head on it so many times and testing the support over and over, I think we're going to break it. That would bring us down to the 200 daily moving average, which is sitting at, you guessed it, $25,000. $25,000 is very important for 3 reasons. Number one, it is a big even. It's a quarter of the way to 100,000, which means that whenever you are trading around $25,000, it's going to be an important level because people are going to look at it as an important level. This is the concept that we talk about quite frequently called mass psychology. When people are looking at the market, they're going to look to these big numbers, 5,000, 10,000, 15,000, 20,000, 25,000, 22,000, these big whole even numbers. People are a lot more likely to look at a number that either one has been defined by a previous market high or low. So for example, 25,236, very important level as defined multiple times on the chart. Or they're going to look at these big even numbers, 25,000, 50,000, 60,000, 75,000, 100,000, 250,000, whatever the number is, they're going to look at big evens. Somebody's not just going to pull the number $27,347.24 out of their head and say, that's the level I want to look at. They're going to look at the big evens. So 25 is a very important level for that reason. Number two, it's also where the 200 daily simple moving average is sitting. So obviously it's very important because the 200 daily SMA is very important to this market structure of Bitcoin during a bull market, because oftentimes when a bull market is occurring, your corrections will bring you back down to the 200 daily simple moving average. I can show you that on 2017 in a moment. Number three, the other reason why it's important is because, as I said, 25,236 is in play and it's right there at basically the exact same level. Looking at the history of those two things that I want to show you, 25,236 and the previous bull market, you can see 25,236 is this level right here. This is the local top that was set on August 14th, 2022. It's also the level that we tested as resistance here just a week after Valentine's Day. And when we broke through that, we entered into a new trading range. 25,236 is very important. On top of that, I told you that I'd show you the 200 moving average. Looking at 16 and 17, you can see that's this blue line down here. I am colorblind, so if it's purple or pink or something, then feel free to make fun of me in the comments. I'm not offended. I think it's really funny to make fun of my colorblindness, so go right ahead and do it. This blue, pink, purple, teal, beige, whatever color line this is, the one on the bottom, this is the 200 daily simple moving average. And Bitcoin has a tendency to go back to this moving average during bull markets. You can see the same thing happened here. Moving forward here towards the more mature part of the 2016-17 bull market happened quite a lot. We saw Bitcoin came back down to test the 200 simple moving average right here, or it came very close anyway. It didn't always get right down there, but it came close. Here on March 25th, 2017, we tested it. Here, about 2 weeks before I got into the cryptocurrency market, it tested it. You can see this blue vertical line represents the date that I got into crypto, July 31st, 2017. Bitcoin had just finished its break below the 50, break below the 100, find support of the 200 market cycle. And it had just started bouncing and rallying when I got into the space. Again, that's almost 6 years ago. Here in 2 months, I will have been in crypto for 60% of a decade. That's crazy. A quarter of my life. That's just nuts. Then we saw Bitcoin do the same thing. It broke below the 100, almost down to the 200, and then it rallied. We see the same thing occurred during the next bull market. Bitcoin during the bull market would sometimes come down to the 200. Now, a lot of times it wouldn't, because this bull market was a little bit different. It was driven by a lot of quantitative easing. It was driven by a lot of different fundamental factors, and sometimes the market would only drop down to the 100. You can see right here, we dropped down to the 100. We're pretty close to the 200. We can see here, we dropped down to the 100 and even down to the 200. Here, we stayed above the 50 because we were in quantitative easing, just massive blow-off bull market. Then we saw the same thing over here when we were in a little bit more healthy of a state. Dropped down to $40,000. That was the 200 moving average. We used it as support. Moving into the bear market, you can see we used it as resistance multiple times. The 200 is a very important level. So you've got convergence of support. For any of you who have gone through any of our educational courses, you will have heard of the concept of convergence of support and resistance. You can have a level of support and resistance strengthened by having multiple levels of support and resistance or multiple instances of support or resistance overlap on top of each other. Right now, we've got multiple levels of support and resistance overlapping at $25,000. Number one, it's a big even. Number two, it is where the 200 daily simple moving average is. And number three, 25,236 is a very large big even. Bitcoin at this point in time is in a very strong downtrend, and we can at this point have quite a lot of confidence that we are going to at least attempt to break below the 100 daily simple moving average. It's basically completely flatlined. Bitcoin is, if it drops even just $1,000, it'll be below it, and that'll be break below it. You can see this candle wick came right down to it. If we break below 26,300, even with just a little bit of force, it could very well cause a capitulation that would drop us down to maybe the 25,800 region. I've told you guys that Bitcoin could go down to 25,236, but a lot of times Bitcoin will kind of hover above a level of support. So I've actually been saying that 25,700 to 25,800 is my real price target for Bitcoin right now. And the reason for that is quite simple. Bitcoin is still in a downtrend, but the good news is Bitcoin is very close to the end of that downtrend. Price action wise, maybe not time wise. So is major drop coming to Bitcoin? I think so. I think you're going to see another $1,200 to the downside. But from there, we're going to more than likely try and hold above 25,236, at least hold above the 200 daily simple moving average, because I think Bitcoin is still trying to enter this longer term bull market based on all of the things that we've talked about relatively recently, including the convergence of support and resistance on the 3 daily chart, which you should definitely go check out in our most recent video. Climate of Crypto went up on Saturday. Nevertheless, if Bitcoin does drop down there, it's not an unhealthy thing. That is actually a way that Bitcoin is flushing out some of the weak hands, getting rid of some of the extraneous longs and shorts that are building up these order walls, that are getting rid of the extraneous longs and shorts, knocking out some of the unhelpful liquidity, and getting rid of some of those order walls that are just kind of trapping us right now. Bitcoin's kind of in a canyon on order walls, massive buy and sell walls on either side. So Bitcoin is to break through that, fall down low enough that the bulls are confident enough that they're willing to buy with enough force to break through the bearish walls. And then when they do that, then we'll have an uptrend. Now, hopefully, we're going to see a larger CPI drop. Hopefully, we're going to see a EFFR pause come June 13th, June 14th. It's possible that doesn't happen, but that is definitely something that we're looking forward to, because if that does, that's going to come in perfect timing, because over the next week or two, we'll probably see that drop down to 25,236, maybe down to 25,700. Like I said, it's possible we hover above that level by $300 to $500. From there, though, if we see CPI data and EFFR come out bullish, so a 0.2% CPI drop or larger, that's questionable. I'm not really too confident in that, but we can hope. And a Fed rate pause or a Fed rate pause, either or, even if only one of them is very bullish and the other one isn't, then that could be enough to send Bitcoin at least into a small uptrend that Bitcoin would then have to kind of fuel itself. I don't think Bitcoin's going to get enough exuberance now from CPI or from EFFR to just go through a massive $5,000 rally on its own. I think Bitcoin's going to have trouble there. But if Bitcoin is able to get enough steam to go through even just a small rally, it's possible that Bitcoin could start rallying of its own under its own steam, as I said, to push up back to at least $30,000, if not even higher. As you can see with the kind of the prediction that I have here for the way the market's going to move this year, I think you're going to see about almost 6 months of sideways trading at this point, and that is not a bad thing at all. All right. Let's go ahead and read chat. Really appreciate all of you guys tuning in. Shadrach Frost said, folks, please take a few seconds and click the like button. Give back some love and respect for Jebb and the work he provides to help educate us daily. Really appreciate all of you guys tuning in, and really appreciate all of you guys for being patient with me and bearing with me, as I've been a little bit late and I'm very sick. I'm very sorry. All right. Jebb is, as per Google Stats, the most consistently unwell YouTuber on their platform. Yes, that is probably accurate. It is probably accurate. We're trying to figure out why we keep getting sick. I think it's just the preschool, but we're trying to figure it out. But by the way, we have a great preschool. I don't want to knock our like, it is the best preschool in the entire county. In fact, I think it just got voted the best preschool in the entire county. We're so thankful for them. But a preschool is a preschool. You know, you kind of can't really help it when you have 200 toddlers running around. All right, Muir7 donated $5. Said, do you feel if we get a pause, Bitcoin will fly and liquidate all the shorts? That's difficult. I don't know if it's just going to fly. I think Bitcoin will have I think that'll be a catalyst for uptrending movement. I think that's going to be one of those things that might, in the moment, be a pretty bullish event, but I also think that's going to give kind of this more bullish underlying sentiment. So let me explain it like this. Whenever you have news or a change of some kind come out in a market, oftentimes what happens is that it impacts the market in one of two ways. Either one, it impacts the market all at once, and then boom, it just drops all the bullishness or all the bearishness all at once, and then people forget about it the next day. or away from them. On the other hand, the other way that news can come out and affect things is that it can kind of be like a rising tide. It doesn't affect anything in a way that's extremely obvious, but if you zoom out and you look at the next year, you're like, wow, that had a lot of impact. Think about it like this. If you're going to invest in Bitcoin, you invest in a lump sum, $5,000, or you can invest, what, $433, whatever it would be, every 6 months. Yes, like $400. Yes, $420, there you go, $420 or whatever it be. Every, I think it'd be $413.33 every single month to invest $5,000 over the course of 12 months. I should have just picked $6,000 and made it a lot easier math because it's $500. Anyway, you can kind of spread out the bullishness or you can do it all at once. This event of a Fed pause, I think, is going to do both. It will be a big news story in the moment. And then people are going to forget about it a week later. But they're not going to totally forget about it. They're going to forget about it as in it's an event that can cause a lot of bullishness. What they're not going to forget about is that, wait a minute, we're in a paused rate market, and that is going to have a big impact over the course of the next 6 to 12 months until they start dropping rates, and then that will be a big bullish catalyst again. And from there, every time the rates go down, that will be a big bullish catalyst. So that's where it might not cause Bitcoin to just fly away and go into a massive rally right away, because at the end of the day, if we do have a Fed rate pause, we are still looking at Bitcoin having, we're still looking at a 5.15% rate market. That's still a very tight rate market, very high rate market compared to what the United States economy has been used to over the last 20 years. However, it is a kind of a, it does bring hope. It does bring hope, and that underlying hope in the market is something that could very well cause Bitcoin to just be generally more bullish. And that leads me to one of the final points I want to make today, actually. Great segue. That's the SPY. The stock market right now is in one of the best positions it's been in a very long time. It is testing $419 or $417 as resistance is currently turned into support, at least on the very shorter term time frames over the last few days. This level is constituted by lows that we set here in March, just after the war began of last year. Highs set here in June, in the middle of this massive stock crash that we saw last summer. We've also tested as resistance twice, right around the time of EFFR meetings, and the stock market has had trouble because every time we got up here to test this result, you can see these blue lines represent FOMC meetings. We saw a rate hike, and the market just went through a major correction. Currently, the market was under this curved downtrend. Instead, the market actually managed to break to the upside. It has entered this symmetrical triangle pattern. It's broken bullish above this downtrending level of resistance, and currently the SPY is attempting to break above $417. If we see a Fed rate pause, here's the deal. We're likely going to see the stock market, the SPY, this is the index of pretty much the entire United States global stock market, the entire United States national stock market, excuse me, will probably go through with the price target as set here on this symmetrical triangle pattern, moving up to $445. If it does that, Bitcoin being highly correlated to the stock market would probably at the same time, and we're talking over the next several months, be moving to the upside as well, and that stock correlation could help Bitcoin to go back to $31,000. That's one of the things I want to mention today. Stocks are looking like they're in a pretty good position, at least on the SPY's front. If we do see a major rally on the SPY, then that's likely going to lead to a major rally on Bitcoin as well. All right, let's go ahead and read some chat, and then we're going to wrap it out here. Like I said, we got to get to a doctor's appointment. Yeah. James Stetson said, I'm colorblind too. Buy the Enchroma glasses. They are amazing. You can actually see and distinguish colors. My wife actually got me some for Christmas. I was very thankful for those. It gave me such a headache that I haven't used them very much. And the other thing is I would wear them more, but I wear glasses. So I can't just wear them over my glasses. That would just, I don't know. Maybe I need to get contacts and wear them more often. That might help. I'm not sure. All right. Nobody is really talking about the commercial real estate crisis in the world right now. They should cause an effect. The time is not residential crisis. It's the commercial crisis like in 08. This hasn't even impacted the economy too bad yet. Keyword here. Yep. There's a lot going on with the with the real estate market right now. I don't have time to get into that, but yeah, definitely something for you guys to look into. Sideways until debt ceiling gets some closure. That's a big part of this for sure. Thanks for being here. Of course, I will always try and be here as much as I can. We go live 5 days a week. Sometimes I'll be a little bit late. I really do apologize for that. Totally my fault. Not trying to blame that on anybody, but it is difficult when you have a newborn and they're sick, so they don't want to go to sleep. And luckily, we did get enough sleep last night, but it was questionable there for a second. Our daughter normally goes to sleep at 8. We couldn't get her to sleep until midnight, but we did end up getting some sleep, so that was nice. All right, guys. Let's just turn a blind eye to it and put our hand in the sand. Yeah, that's how we typically face problems in the first world. unfortunately. All right, guys, I really do appreciate all of you tuning in. I got to wrap out here for the reasons I already just talked about. Thank you guys so very much for bearing with me and having grace. I really do want to apologize for being late. And I've been late quite a bit recently, and that's not acceptable. And I want to correct that, and I'm very sorry. Like I said, we've just been trying to get used to having 2 kids. Been trying to get used to just a lot. There's a lot going on. Some of it I'm not talking about on camera, but really appreciate your grace and your willingness to stick around and stay tuned. We have big dreams here, and I really think the Lord's got a lot of cool stuff going on for us. But we're just going to have to be as faithful as we can and see where it goes. Thank you guys so very much for tuning in and joining me on this journey. If you have not already, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that post notification bell. Make sure to check out Lux Algo. You got a 30% off coupon code waiting for you over there that can save you $500 in the first year, $472.98 or whatever it is. Make sure to check that out. Use Jebb30 at checkout. You will get 30% off for all of your months of subscription. By the annual plan, it'll end up saving you $472 if you use our coupon code and use the annual plan instead of just paying for the monthly with a no coupon. It's crazy. Sign up for that. Check down below. There's all kinds of affiliate links down there that will help us and will save you up to thousands of dollars collectively, all of them. Check them out. Make sure to sign up for Club DeFi's Principles of Technical Analysis. Start learning technical analysis today so that you can get started understanding the technical charts of these markets so that you can profit in the bull market that is coming. Really do appreciate all of you tuning in. Before I go, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Oh, I got a real good feeling.